Hey there everyone, SEMO-MAC here again. So as I promised in my last video, I'm going to walk you through some steps on how to put this little hour meter on your generator so you can keep up with the hours on it, which will help you when you need to change the oil. So you know how many hours this thing's run, you have it calculated, and you know when your next oil change is going to be. So let's get to it. All right, everyone, here we go. So, spark plug is in this little case right here. So all we're gonna do is take our handy dandy, and that's right, that is Mr. Bauer because he came from Harbor Freight. Take that off. Put that there, put that there. Now down in here, I don't know if you're really going to be able to see this. Let's see if I can get you up close and personal here. All right, as I've got you down in here, right here is the cable that goes to the spark plug. So what we're going to do is take this little meter, if I can get this pulled out here so you can see it. All we are going to do is wrap that meter around here. So if we can pull this out, let's see if I can. I might have to get me a wrench. So, all right, we got our handy dandy channel locks, and I want to see if I can do this with one hand, which is going to be not all that great. There we go. We got that pulled off of there. So now what we can do is pull this out, and what we're going to do is wrap this wire around this cable. So if you do this, then it's actually, these are kind of pretty neat. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So what these are is you have a cable that hooks up in here, and it wraps around the actual cable that goes to your spark plug, and so it counts the pulses that go by. So that's how you know how long it takes that it's going to be running. So it counts those pulses every minute. So these are really handy. You can actually put these on with the mounted screws. I use Velcro. So let me get you put back on my tripod here, and we'll do this right quick. So all right, everybody, I'm back here, got you facing the generator here. So what we're going to do is take this thing out. And guys, these things are extremely easy to do. You know, like I said, if I can do this stuff myself, I am more than happy to do. I'll let you see this right here. This is pretty much the instructions that shows you what needs to be done. It's literally, it's like a 3-step process and you're done with it. So set this down here, and rubber band. Kind of get that stretched out. What do I have? I don't know if those came with. Yeah, it came with ties. So I can say, I thought it did. And mainly what you're going to use these ties for is just the wire tie where it wraps around here. You're just going to wire tie it to that to hold it in place. So really, biggest thing what we need to do number one, you're going to slide this through here. Kind of get that pushed down in there. So we can actually pull this if we need to. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait on that, and we're going to put it on here. So what we're going to do, see, I'll make sure y'all can see this, which is going to be kind of hard. So I'm going to try to scoot y'all up here. There we go. So we're just gonna make this thing, we're gonna wrap it around, and make sure that you wrap this pretty tight. You don't want no slack in it. You want to try to make it as tight as you can. And really, all you have to do, and if I'm not mistaken, they tell you that you only have to do about, I don't know, I think it's 5 or 6 wraps. Let's see, this says about 4 centimeters from the end of the spark plug. And it really doesn't say. On my other one that I've got, it said to wrap it about 6 to 7 times. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's 4, here's 5, and here's 6. And honestly, that right there should be enough. So what we're going to do now is, if I can hold this all together, take that, hold that together right there. And so what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to set this on here. So you see how I've put a little bit, I'll show this after I get it wire tied. So it actually has a good So as you can see right here, I've got this hooked up, made this come around just a hair. So I looped it right here where it's going to hang on there. So you have the core right here and it's wrapped up. So see if I can move you just a tad bit closer there so you can see that wrap. And then what I'm going to do now is take another one of these, and I'm just going to go right across this here, just so it'll hold a little bit better. And like I said, guys, there is nothing to this. This is probably one of the easiest things you can do on a generator that will actually help you. And I've got such big fingers, this thing does not want to work with me. There we go. So let me pull that down there. So there we go. Just got that on there. So there we go. So now we got those wrapped. They should be fine. We're going to take our little nippers, cut them off, cut that off. And now what we're going to do is plug this thing back in. I can get that down in there. All right. So our plug is back in. And now what we're going to do is find out where do we want to actually put this. So, looks like the way this comes out, I could probably run this up through here and up through here. So let's take a look and let's see. So we got this going back. Trying to see where I can do this and it not cause any issues. And that looks like that's fairly decent. Could probably come back up right there with that. And let's see if this will work. Alright, so that's fine right there. No problems. And then we got to pick out a really good place to put this. You know, a lot of people put them right up here on your actual case itself, on that. But the only bad thing is you're not going to have enough to do this. But with Velcro, that might be a really good place, because then you can unvelcro it and then remove this, or just move it off of it completely, and you can put it right here. Some people put them up here. Let's see. I really do like that idea right there. That is pretty nifty. If I didn't have all my paperwork there, I'd do it right there. But if I do it right here, and then I do Velcro, I should be fine. So, I think that's maybe what we're going to do. Because everywhere else, I can run it back here if I wanted to, on the very back of it. The only thing is that you're going to have your cable coming back out here, which is fine, but I like to keep mine as short as possible. So I'm thinking I might actually, that's a pretty good, that's kind of level on there. Let me see what I can find here. I think right there is probably going to be the best place for it. I do like that. Well, I'm actually going to put it right here, is where I'm going to put it at. If it comes off, it's okay. I mean, like I said, this is not a really big issue here. I am putting Velcro on there, so it'll stick it on there. You'll take this. What we're going to do is run this through here. Kind of give it, I like giving it just a little bit of slack, because you never know. But then you don't want it too much slack, because you don't want it to catch on anything. So if I can get this pushed in there, take my nippers and close them so I don't mess up the cable. Push those in there. There we go. So we can probably do that right there. Kind of pull this a little tight, so I can set that right on there. That should work just fine. That'll give me a little slack, so when I take the Velcro off, I can move it over here, and it can sit right there while I'm working on whatever I need to work on. So I think that's what we're going to do. So let's get our Velcro. Give me a little measurement here. So roughly about right there. Take our little cutters right there, and I'm gonna move y'all back just a hair so y'all can actually see me while I'm doing this. All right. So now what we're gonna do, just so I get all this even, we're gonna put that there, put all of that on, cut that off. All right. It's a little long, but that's okay. I can trim that off. Oh, make sure all that sticks. Give it just a little bit. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna see if I can trim this. Probably can't. Just make sure you don't trim your actual cable, because that's the last thing you want to do. Trim that off there. All right. So now let's take this off, our backing, and try to put this exactly where I want it, which is roughly about right there. Sit there and kind of hold that for a little bit. And there we go. That ain't going anywhere. So let's put that back up in there. kind of pull this tight just a hair. So I have that right there. So I'm gonna leave a little slack here. One good thing about these, trim this off right there. And then what we can do is, I saved this. So for any reason this thing gets damaged, I got more, and I've got 3 more actually. Matter of fact, I used the same one off the 2 and I still got one brand new. So let me wind this back up. Twist that a little bit, put that rubber back on so we can keep this. And that's pretty much all to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my door here. We're going to roll this out to the side and we're going to do a little count so you can actually see this. It's going to have to run for a little bit so y'all can see it count, but hopefully it'll work, because when we power this thing on, you should start seeing it flashing, if I remember right. So let's see, we're going to wrap it before installing it. Start wire meter, yep, pick up, make sure that the motor is picking up the signal, and this will actually activate the meter. Left the LEDs, so we'll actually see the little icon over here on the hours, and you'll have to wait at least 6 minutes for the timer to increase the time. So 6 minutes is what we got. So we'll see what we can do. So I'll be right back with you. All right, everyone, we got this little bad boy running. As you can see right here on the hour meter, that thing is flashing. Therefore, it is working. It is now calculating the cycles, the pulses that are actually going through from the generator itself. So that's a win-win. We're actually running. So all right, everyone, so I'm back here again. As you can see, this thing's ran about 6 minutes, and I now have my counter. So I'm at 1/10 of an hour that this thing has ran. So that pretty much shows you that this thing actually works. So there you go, everybody. That's an easy fix to put an hour meter on your generator that doesn't have a readout. Like I said, a lot of your small ones like this don't have a readout. So that's an easy way to do it. It's, like I said, 10 bucks. You can find them off of Amazon. I'll drop the link down in the description. So if you need you one, jump on there, click on it, grab it. You're good to go. So with that being said, this is another video brought to you by SEMO-MAC. And as always, be kind and enjoy life. SEMO-MAC out.